Hello everyone, this is Saurabh Sharma. Welcome to Vijay IAS Academy To The Point Current Affairs series. And in today's video, we will be talking about 12th January 2022 current affairs. In this video, the topic we are doing is more or less focused on prelims questions because there are so many factual data. There are scientific principles and mechanisms of some issues are given, and UPSC might ask in terms of science and technology context. So the first topic we are taking up is irradiation of food. This is about United States Department of Agriculture for exports of Indian mangoes to United States. Indian mangoes mostly are going from the regions like Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, etc. Also West Bengal. Many states actually have started exporting Indian mangoes to the Western countries like Europe, Canada, United States. But USA is very skeptical about the exports of mangoes to its land because they believe that Indian standards under which the foods are being processed, that is not matching the standards of United States, and it is always worry about the phytosanitary issues over the products going from India. And they believe that it might add some alien microorganisms to United States atmosphere, environment and system, and that might actually affect the local system in the long run. So this is the issue actually in broader parameters we have to look into. What happens is that why this thing is in news now, because the inspection of irradiation facility in India could not be visited by United States Department of Agriculture inspectors due to COVID-19 pandemic for travel restrictions. So they could not come here to inspect that whether everything is being processed the way it should be while going to United States, whether it is matching the standards. Now in this video the topic remains around issues like what is irradiation, on what principles does it work. Irradiation and radioactivity are these two different issues. And if we are actually bringing the food under the process of irradiation, is it going to affect the nutritional value, the natural fibers, let's say chemical composition of the fruit itself given by nature? Is it going to enhance the food shelf life? Is it going to impact on the taste? And if the irradiation facility is not in use, then what do we do with the radiation facility and all that, and what is the mechanism through which it is moving and it is existing, and what are the legal or due diligence we have in force in the country. So when we talk about irradiated food, it is a regulated activity in the country in accordance with the Atomic Energy Radiation Processing of Food and Allied Products Rules 2012 and Food Safety and Standards Regulations 2011. Important. Food can be irradiated only in a food irradiation plant. That means a scientific establishment specifically focusing on the food irradiation activities, which is authorized by Atomic Energy Regulatory Board and licensed by the competent government authority. So it is being authorized by a board. So the question could be that the irradiation plant directly comes under the Agriculture Department under Ministry of Agriculture. No, it is not. Or it is under the Nuclear Board of India or whatsoever. No, it is not. And it is being regulated by the Atomic Energy Regulatory Board. Now, Food Safety and Standards Authority of India, that is FSSAI, is also regulating the food safety aspects of irradiated food products under the Food Safety and Standards Act 2016 and its regulations. They are checking the quality of the food products after the radiation is being done. Then it is basically a double check, because India would never want that any of its food products are undergone a permanent ban from a country like United States, where the demand of such fruits, such tropical fruits from country like India is absolutely profitable, and the livelihood of many agricultural communities are depending upon this exports. Now, what is radiation processing of food? Let's see the mechanism, what is involved. Food irradiation, the application of ionizing radiation to food, is a technology that improves the safety and extends the shelf life of foods by reducing or eliminating microorganisms and insects. They are also micro insects. Now, two, three things are very much clear from this line. That is, it improves the safety and it increases the shelf life. The question could be, it doesn't affect the shelf life. It could be positive, yes, but it harms the shelf life. No, it is not. And it eliminates the microorganisms and insects. So this is the information we are getting from this area. And the application of ionizing radiation to food. So basically it is working on the external skin of the food, and it is not changing the natural composition of the food flesh. Now, radiation processing of food involves the controlled application of energy from ionizing radiation such as gamma rays, electron beam and X-rays. So these three rays are being used in this technology for food preservation, that is gamma, X-rays and electron beam. Important. Now, how irradiation works? Irradiation works by disrupting the biological processes that lead to decay. So that means it is stagnating the chemically decomposition of the food after we basically pluck the food from its stems. In their interaction with water and other molecules that make up food and living organisms, radiation energy is absorbed by the molecules they contact. So basically, the molecules actually that make up food and living organisms generally get stagnant and destabilized with this process. Now, next is the reaction with the DNA cause the death of microorganisms and insects. So it is the DNA which is being reacted here and impair the ability of potato and onion to sprout. So here it is basically also changing the chemical phenomena and mechanisms in the potato and onion, which is not letting the sprouts to come out, and coming of sprout is basically also a sign of getting the maturity of the food, as you have seen in the cases of pulses and other products which are going under the sprouts. Next, food either pre-packed or in bulk placed in suitable containers is sent into the irradiation chamber with the help of an automatic conveyor. When the facility is not in use, the radiation source is stored under 6-meter deep water. So it means it has to be protected, it has to be kept and stored underwater so that irradiation activities or any kind of rays do not affect the normal life of the people or other surrounding. The water shield does not allow radiation to escape into the irradiation chamber, thus permitting free access to personnel to carry out plant maintenance. The water shield here. What are advantages of radiation processing of food? Irradiation is a cold process and can be used to pasteurize and sterilize foods without causing much changes in freshness and texture of food, unlike heat. Irradiation does not make foods radioactive, does not make compromise nutritional quality or noticeably change the taste, texture or appearance of food. So these are the things which are keeping the food in natural texture, quality and the taste. Unlike chemical fumigants, irradiation does not leave any harmful toxic residues in food and is more effective. It is efficient and can be used to treat pre-packed commodities. So after treating, actually we can pack the items and then we can enhance or we can actually lock the food quality through this process before packing, and hence we can actually increase the shelf life of the food products, and therefore our quality is not compromised. And after it is undergoing any kind of checks at the borders of United States or any other country who are imposing the fight to sanitary issues within India, they will accept it and they would not reject the shipments, hence would not lead to the losses of the people who are involving in the trades of exports from India. Irradiation can serve many other purposes like prevention of foodborne illness, to effectively eliminate organisms that cause foodborne illness such as Salmonella and Escherichia coli, that is E. coli. Preservation, to destroy or inactivate organisms that cause spoilage and decomposition and extend the shelf of life. So you have to keep these words in mind, these small headings, because the question could be that what is the application of irradiation in food sector, what are the uses of it. So prevention of foodborne illness, preservation, control of insects, because in imported tropical fruits insects are generally found. Irradiation also decreases the need for other pest control practices that may harm the fruit. Delay of sprouting and ripening, to inhibit sprouting, example potatoes, and delay ripening of fruits to increase longevity so that Indian products get the viable shelf life. Because in India, when we are talking about the food processing sector or the fruits or vegetables, many data suggest that almost 30 to 40% of fruits are generally wasted before reaching to the consumers. So such a massive wastage we are seeing because these ripening, over ripening, the temperature issues, the insects issues, and the quality texture of the fruits generally gets destroyed because of long transport system, long haulages, and no proper treatment of food products on the farm itself. Therefore, the food processing scheme of India mostly focus on one thing, that is farm to plates or farms to fork. These are the objectives or visions we are basically working in the food processing sector. So this application can also be used in domestic food processing industries. Sterilization. Irradiation can be used to sterilize foods which can then be stored for years without refrigeration. Sterilized foods are useful in hospitals for patients with severely impaired immune systems, such as patients with AIDS or undergoing chemotherapy, that is for cancer treatment. Foods that are sterilized by irradiation are exposed to substantially higher levels of treatment than those approved for general uses. So these are basically specific usages of this application. Does the irradiation process make food radioactive? No. Had it been, USA would never allow this process. Simple. It is a common sense. The irradiation process involves passing of food through a radiation field, allowing the food to absorb desired radiation energy. So it is basically being absorbed by the fruits. The food itself never comes in contact with the radioactive material because it is the external shelf or external skin that coming in contact. What is the difference between the terms irradiated and radioactive food? Radiation processed foods are those that have been exposed to radiation as prescribed, about to bring about the desired effective. So it is a controlled mechanism. It is a controlled mechanism. Whereas radioactive foods, on the other hand, are those that become contaminated with radionuclides. So it is a negative application. Whereas the irradiation or radiation is the positive application. This type of contamination never occurs during food irradiation. Now, does irradiation adversely affect the nutritional value of food? Again, the common sense suggests that no, it doesn't, because had it been, USA would never ask India to do that. In comparison to other food processing and preservation methods, the nutritional value is least affected by irradiation. So there is no effect on nutritional values. Can irradiation be used to destroy microbial toxins and pathogenic viruses in food? No. As in many other food processing procedures, only food of good hygienic quality should be irradiated. Like any other food treatment, irradiation cannot reverse the spoilage process and make bad food good. So it can never be reversing the process. Rather, it halts the condition from further or any other decay or spoilage. What are the, so basically it cannot turns the bad into good. What are the chemical changes in radiation processed foods, and are they harmful? Irradiation produces very little chemical changes in food. None of the changes known to occur have been found to be harmful yet. The radiolytic products and free radicals produced are identical to those present in food subjected to treatment such as cooking, canning, etc. So basically, the idea of this entire article is that how the radiation process can help us to make our products competitive in international market. Because India, being a tropical country, is always under this issue of food quality because of microorganisms, pathogens, and other insects issues. So therefore, this phytosanitary measures are imposed against India. Measures India has to undergo, and this type of treatment actually incurs cost, and then only Indian products are made competitive in international market. Because India's share in the exports of fruits and vegetables is not that good. It is not at all ideal, whereas the potential is huge, because we are one of the largest producers of fruits and vegetables in the world, at par China and other countries in the world. And the tropical fruits of India and the variety India is having is always liked in international market, but the only issue is the quality. And if this quality factor is controlled by the Indians or Indian government through bringing those mechanisms at work, then definitely India will do good in terms of exports when it comes to exports of fruits and vegetables and other food items. And it is required, because in this way only we can add on incomes to the farmers, because that in this way they will also get the good remuneration for their products. And hence the process we discussed is important for prelims point of view, and this process and the scientific mechanism you should also have idea about. So this was about the irradiation in food industry. Hope you understand the topic. Thank you so much.